Okay guys, so today we're gonna be changing the oil pan gasket and the pickup tube O-ring. I'm finna show you some of the little materials that we got. You know what I mean? Let's see. Get this box open. Alright. So here we got the oil pan gasket. That's the O-ring right there that we're gonna be replacing. Then I also got a oil filter or whatnot. But yeah, that's what we're gonna be replacing today. So you're gonna need some tools. Here's the tools. Oh, I finally got a tripod. You know what I'm saying? A little miniature one. Got the little tripod stand connected to it or whatnot. But these are tools we're gonna be using. You know what I'm saying? Get up under here. Drop this. Well, that's not the oil pan, but drop this oil pan right here. As you can tell, it's leaking. So we're gonna get that gasket changed out. All right, so let me get my tools ready, get my little setup or whatnot, and I'll be back. All right. All right, today we're gonna be changing the oil pickup tube. I'm finna show you the mileage. 2,211 miles. Yeah, I said it's about due. But I'm finna go ahead and show you what it's reading. My oil pressure, extremely low. All right, now that we got that established, I'm finna show you how to get it done. All right, so first thing you wanna do when changing your oil pan, get it up on some jack stands. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you put down a little protective layer, protect your ground from oil stains or whatnot. I use the box, but before you get started on that, you want to get up under the hood, go on ahead and pop the cap, so your oil be able to flow freely. You know what I mean? So after we done got that done, we finna get up under the truck, and we finna go on ahead and release the oil from the engine. All right, let's get down there. Let's see. Get you a good receptacle. You know what I mean? Let's see if I can basically get a good view of what we finna do. Get up under here. Oh. Guess that's a pretty good angle. I don't know if y'all can see, but that's the nut we're gonna be removing right there. This one right here. Go ahead and let the oil out, flow into your receptacle right here. All right, so with that, I'm finna go ahead and get my tools ready, and we'll be back. All right, so for this particular part right here, on my truck, it's a size 13 nut. So what you wanna do is get that on there. Oh, well, that's already loose. Get that on there. I mean, make sure you got all your proper PPE, and go ahead and remove your nut. Might get a little bit of splatter. That's normal. You know what I mean? Man, my oil was black. Ugh. I don't know if y'all can see that nut, but it got a lot of little build up on it. And this is about time for an oil change right here. I'm glad I put that little piece of cardboard down. All right, so we're gonna ahead and let that drain out. And while this is draining, going ahead and getting the rest of our materials ready. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop it about here, unless y'all like watching the oil drain out. Man. Yeah, we're gonna watch this for a little bit. Alright, now we're down to a little old trickle. We're gonna go ahead and stop the video right there. And we'll be back. Alright, so now that we got it down to a slow trickle, what we're gonna do is go ahead and put this nut back in there. Just hand tighten it. Now that that's back in there, we finna focus on this good old, I guess you would call it a cross member. And we finna go ahead and remove this so we get ready to drop the oil pan. Alright, now you're gonna have 4 bolts. Well, 2 bolts on either side with a total of 4. And on my truck, it's gonna be a, let's see, what size is this? This is a size 18 socket. So we finna go ahead and get started on getting those removed. I gotta go get me another ratchet. Mine's also the same size on the back nut, which is 18. So I need to go get me another ratchet for that. So finna pause it right here and we'll be back. Alright, so we're removing this cross member right here. It's 18 socket or 3/4 wrench. I don't know if y'all can see that. I probably need to move y'all. Got my big head in the way. Alright. Let's see. Right side. I think y'all might be able to see that. Get it on there. Wait. Alright, so it seems like we're gonna have to take these out by hand. There we go. Had to use some strength on that one. Man. Alright. Part 2 won't fit off in here. Pretty quick work of that. Got that bottom loose. Now go for that top. Slide that out a little bit so you can get your wrench on. That one's on there. Ooh-wee. Had some in that Hercules. Oh man. Now we got those. Got those loose. Now we're gonna focus on the other side over here. See if I can get y'all over there to this side. Don't mind the noise. Neighborhood trash truck. Way. Alright, we got that one knocked loose. Let's focus on this top now. Push that in just a little bit. Try to get my wrench on there. Ooh, baby. There we go. Now we got it loose. Get that net off of there. Push up on it. Pull that one loose. Like put my nuts back on the end. You know, say your hassle looking for them. I don't know if that's gonna stay. No, it's not. Make sure you out the way. Now we removing the other side. You know what? I'm gonna put this one back at the top just to hold it. So that shit don't fall on me. Alright. Move back over here. I think y'all can see that. Not too for sure. No, I can't see the camera. But if not, I just edit that part out. Alright. Put that nut. Get that back on there. Alright, now we just gotta remove it. Boom. Oh, it's a lot of trash in there. Now we got that removed. Our oil pan is gonna be accessible, which I'm finna go ahead and cut to a breaking point right here, but let's see if I can get this. As you can see, the oil pan is not accessible. You'll be able to, yeah, there we go. We gonna get this off here in a bit, but I'm finna go ahead and cut to a good old break. Got all that off. Got the oil drain. So probably end up starting on this side, loosening up these two bolts you see right here. One on this side that holds the oil pan, and that one on that side. Oh, wrong way. Still learning how to work this little old thing. But yeah, buddy, we finna get it done. But I'll be back here in a few. All right, so while we're taking a quick breather, when we get back under there, what we're gonna be removing is the clips that hold your wiring harness in the place. We're gonna remove that. I believe it's like a 10mm bolt that's holding it on. Then on the back side of the oil pan, there's another little wiring harness you're gonna have to move out the way. But when we get back to that, I'll show you how to do it. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. All right, so right here is a little 10mm bolt right up here that you're gonna have to take off. You know what I mean? We go ahead and separate that from the oil pan. And then there's I don't know if y'all can see it, but right above this bar, there's a couple little clips you're gonna have to take loose to go ahead and free up those wires so you can reach the oil pan bolts right there. But we ain't there yet, so we're gonna focus on this one over here and go ahead and get that disassembled. Let me move y'all out the way so I could actually let's see, actually get that. So how do I, nope, that's not that. All right, there we go. So we go ahead and get that done, which at this view don't look like y'all gonna be able to see that. Let me move it over a little bit. Well, I had to use a different camera angle. Yeah, I think that'll be a little bit better. All right, let's get up there and get to it. Hopefully my big head ain't in the way. So, pull that down. Not as tight on as I thought it was gonna be. Got that bolt out of there. Boom. It just pops down into the side like that. Take that clip out. That's off into the side. We're good with that. Put that bolt down there. Now we gotta get this little clip out right here. gonna have to pause it right there so I can go get my pick, so we can get that little clip up out of there. But for the most part, that's pretty much all you really need to do besides these little front clips, and they just pop on out of place. Got a lot of caked up nastiness up under here. So let me go get this pick. All right, so I got my pick. So what you're gonna do is take your little, little pick and get some of that nastiness off of there. But take your little pick, you're gonna put it in right here, and you're gonna pull up a little bit just to get that unclipped. Now that it's free and out the way, you probably wanna try to get it out the way so you don't pull it down. You know what I mean? So now we can basically get started on loosening up these little 10 millimeters and dropping this oil pan on down, see what's in it. All right, guys, so there's a 10 millimeter on this side that you got to take off in order to get this wire harness down and out the way so you could access these bolts up here in the front. So now that we got that out the way, tuck that down a little bit, and we should be able to go ahead and get this oil pan dropped. All right, let me get some of this crud out the way so I don't get any dirtier than I already am. I know y'all see that. Like, it is dirty up under here. All right, y'all. I'm finna pause y'all again. All right. You can see all this crud that fell. Let's see. We gotta go down. All of this crud that fell down. Nothing but caked up oil and dirt. All right, guys. We're gonna pause it right there. All right, so we're gonna start with these truck front, but oil pan rear back nuts. Get those off. If I can get this on there. These on down and out. Just other side. That's two. Probably gonna have to take this extension off to reach these other ones. Make sure you're wearing safety goggles when you up under here. Good. But you will need them. There we go. That's that front four out. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get my extension. And get the rest of them. But I don't necessarily want to bore y'all with me removing all these bolts. That wasn't on there at all. Alright, after this one, I'm gonna go ahead and polish off and try to get all of them out. We'll just come back. Alright, y'all. Just got the pan down. Here we go right here. This is the pan. This is part way after right here. I don't know, it don't look too shabby down there, but we finna go ahead and take this off so we can get to the what you call it, the pickup tube O-ring. You know what I'm saying? Get that taken care of. So once I get this out and in the sun so we can see. Whew. I'll go on ahead and get back to you. Then we got to get to cleaning up this mounting surface too. So I'm finna go ahead and get all the materials needed for that. And we'll be back. Alright, so now that the oil pan is down, I'm finna go ahead and drag it out. Can you see all the caked up nastiness that's on it? So let me get the camera out the way. Finna go ahead and grab it and put it on this mat and drag it on out. It pretty much finished dripping or whatnot, so you shouldn't have to worry about no oil. We got it on the mat. Here we go. ahead and get y'all over here and look in here. Y'all see that? Oh wait, that bad boy had some dirt off in it. And you can see where the gasket actually wore down. It was well overdue. Alright, I'm finna stop it right there. Finna have to pop out these rivets right here. Got one right there, and one over here. So I guess this been on the truck the whole time. Ain't never been changed. So I'm finna go ahead and go find me a drill so I can drill these on out. Alright, we'll be back. 1 minute, I just want to show y'all. I don't know if the camera will pick it up. You see all that sludge build up in the corner right there? Ooh, wait. This baby needed it. Okay, y'all, so I got that little cover off or whatnot, but can you see the amount of just grit and grime that's caked up in this baby? All right. Look at that. Wow. It was well overdue. Look at this corner right here, just caked up. Just caked up. Well, I'm finna go ahead and get this taken care of. You know what I mean? I'll go ahead and come back to y'all once I got it cleaned up. Alright. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back. Alright, y'all, so I got the rest of the oil out. Just look how much, man, it's just in there. Just caked in, sludge. You know what I'm saying? Looking horrible. I'm finna go ahead and get this cleaned up. As y'all can see, I got it drilled out. Now I just gotta clean up this outer. Now the seal itself, you can see where it just gave up. You know what I mean? It was bad. It was bad. It just gave up. You can see some of the spots where it was just leaking. You know what I mean? So we finna go ahead and get this cleaned up right here and get it ready to go back in. Alright, so I got a little ways on the cleaning, but look at all that muck and mayhem down there. Baby, we finna get that out of there and have it running nice. Alright, I'll get back to y'all. Alright, so now we finna get this pickup tube out of here. And you're gonna have like, I believe it's like 3 bolts. It's gonna be a 10mm right up here, which I don't think y'all able to see that at this moment. Then you're gonna have another one, I believe is like right here. Then this one right here. So we finna go ahead and get those taken off. Make sure you use your proper PPE. You know what I mean? These safety glasses, they're an eye saver. Especially when you're working under a vehicle with limited space. Well, I thought those was a 10, but I'm obviously mistaken. So let me get that 10 off of there. And see if this 11 to do. Not 11. Alright. So it's gonna be not the 12 neither. Alright. Process of elimination. Oh, my big head ain't in the way. And after I get this pickup tube out the way, I'm gonna go ahead and try to clean this off so I could have it prepped and ready before I put my gasket back on. Take that down. Get that bolt out. Drop it in my little tray. That was one right there. Go ahead and go for this next one. Got a little bit of leakage right there. Guess it was oil holding on. Alright. Came off relatively easy. And on the pickup tube in, I guess that's where the 10 is gonna be. So go ahead and switch over your little old hardware. Yep, that's the 10. Get your ratchet back on there. I'm using the full extension. After you get this little piece off right here, or this little nut right here, your pickup tube should come right on out. Alright. Got a little ratchet in it. Throwing me off balance. Alright, go ahead and get that up out of there. Got that out. Now, the pickup tube should go ahead and we'll go on down. And it did. But my O-ring stayed on up in there. As you can see, got it out. What's this one? This is the green one, and it's flat. Alright, now that we got that out, let's get our pickup tube cleaned up. So I'm finna wiggle out this small space, and we'll be back. Alright, y'all, so I got the oil pan somewhat cleaned out. Then I got the pickup tube out. I don't know if y'all can see how much grit and grime is in there. I'm finna clean this on up too. But here go the old gasket compared to the new little rubber gasket. You can see how flat that one is. All that glare. Hold on. Get over here. Hopefully you can see it. How much glare that is. That's the old one, and that's the new one. See how flat and rounded this one is. That is, it's flat, baby. But that's the new one that's going on right there. So now I'm just finna focus on getting this on. And this one cleaned up. Look in there. That's why I wasn't getting no pressure right there. Mug is gummed up. So after I get this cleaned out, I get back to y'all and show y'all how to put it back on in. Alright y'all, so my tripod died, so video gonna get a little wonky from here, but I don't know if you can tell. I got that cleaned out. Let me get out the way so you can see it. So now, you know, we got some suction that could be made. Alright, so we finna get back to putting it all back together. Okay y'all, so we doing this one-handed, but what you wanna do, you wanna get your O-ring on there. You know what I mean? Now before you put it in the truck, you don't wanna pinch it or anything. You wanna go ahead and put some oil around here. But we're finna get over there and get it done. Alright. Oh, and I cleaned up the oil pan a little bit. Still letting it dry out a little bit. Alright. We gonna get that, get up under here. I'm finna grab some oil. So I'm gonna put y'all on hold real quick. And so we're back. We're doing that one-handed thing. Go ahead and dip your finger in some oil. Come over here. Lube up your O-ring. You know what I mean? Want to get you a good little amount of oil on there, sort of slip right in. Make sure you go all the way around that baby. Alright, so now that we got that lubed up, what we're gonna do, go ahead and get it down here and back up into position, which I ain't really got nothing to hold the phone, so I might just prop it up against something, but we'll get back to that. Alright, so we back up under here. This is the hole you gonna go ahead and get your pickup tube in. Now you want to take a rag and clean that out. Let's see if I could cut the lighter down. Alright, so you do want to clean that interior out right there, but we gotta go ahead and scrape this on down so our gasket will fit. You won't have no leaks, you know. So you want to get that scraped down, which we finna go ahead and do that now. So I'm finna go ahead and reach a stopping point right here, scrape this down, and we'll be back. All right, y'all. So I got it cleaned up. You know, best I could do with a razor. You know what I mean? So we're finna go ahead and get this buckle back up in there. And hey, we gonna call it a day, baby. Get this baby button back up. Alright, let's see if y'all can see how I'm working from right here. I think y'all might be able to see that a little bit. Got y'all leaned up against the tire. Alright, got that right there. Got this right here. Whoa. Make sure that baby lubed it. Get some of that oil jostling around on there. So we're gonna go in right there. Damn. Baby popped right on in there. I don't know if y'all saw that, but baby said you ain't said nothing but a word, nigga. I mean. Oh. ahead and get it started. I said, that's that sliding glide right there, baby. No, we gotta go that way. Got that baby on there. Alright. Still on these other little boats. Oh, I forgot. Gotta pull that off. That was the was it this one? Yeah. That baby back on now. I'm ready to pick up some more. I'm ready to pick up some more, baby. Got you all cleaned out. Come on, gotta get you back on now. Yeah. There we go. There we go. That's it, baby. I told you I was gonna get you back right. Got it cleaned up. Put a little bite on it. You know what I mean? All right. So we got that good and done. Good and done. Now what you want to do in these four corners, you want to go ahead and put you some of that gasket adhesive. You know what I mean? Just so you could go ahead and fill these little corners to where the walls meet. That way you don't have no leaks from the corners or whatnot. So we finna go ahead and get from up under here, get that gasket, put on the oil pan, put a couple screws in it, so the gasket will hold your screws, and go ahead and get that baby back lined up here. Alright, so with that being said, I'm gonna put y'all on a short little break. I thank y'all for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. You know. Look at her. She on there, baby. Buku on there. On there. Clean as a whistle. You know what I mean? Alright, thank y'all for watching. Alright, y'all, so we got some of this good old this ultra black. That's that gasket maker. You know what I mean? So you want to go ahead and cut the tip off of it. Boom. Oh, that didn't get it. Go a little bit up under that. And got your hole in there. You know what I mean? Now what you want to do? Well, I guess I can show y'all. Let me get up under here the right way. Alright. Let's see, turn the camera. So, you want to get you some gasket maker. I just squeeze that bad boy. You want Get you some. Oh, right up there on them cracks. I got you one over here. Want to get some on that one too. You know what I'm saying? You want your pan to seal, so you ain't got to put much. But you know what I mean? You want to make sure you're good. Just like that. Get some over here. Boom. That way you ain't got to worry about no leaks. You know what I mean? And so now we got that on there. Go ahead and throw that to the side. So you got your little dribble right there. Got your dribble right there. Let's get out here. Look at this good old pan. We got our gasket on there. We got a couple screws holding it in place. All right, just a couple of them. You know what I'm saying? Hold your gasket in place, line up everything. Now I'm finna get this and slide this up in the truck and get it bolted up. All right, see you in a bit. All right, so let's get her up here in the place. Whew. Got that baby hanging. Ooh-wee. Oh shit. Yeah, baby. So as I get this reattached, we'll come back after I get it all up there and done. All right, so I got this bolted in. I'm putting my last 2 bolts in. And this the bolts that attach your transmission to your oil pan or whatnot. I guess I could go ahead and hand screw those in right now. Got everything else bolted up. Get those in there. Oily hinge. Man. Let's go ahead and get it done. Get it bolted up. Drop some oil in this baby. Should have used a mini extension on that one. Get that baby on now. Get my little extension over here. Put some bite on it. Ooh. Yeah, I don't like the way that one bit. Alright. I feel like I broke that one. I put a little bit too much bite. Alright. So, we got all that in. Now it's just to hook up all the little components back up and clean up your tools. I had these Olay. I hate when my tools are dirty. Look at this, just filthy. Go ahead, clean these bad boys up and get everything back together. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause it here. I feel like at this point you should know how to put everything else back together. All we finna do, attach this little clip, which is right here. Put that back off in there, like that. And everything else, you got a 10mm. You need to put this clip back on top of that. Put that little 10mm there. You know, put the cross member back up here. And aside from that, you put your front clip back on, put another little 10mm bolt in that, and I don't feel like, you know, that's really worth video time. So I'm gonna let y'all go with that. Y'all see that. And you can drop your oil pan yourself. You could pull your pickup tube O-ring off. You could replace it, and you can clean out your pickup tube area. You know what I mean? I showed you how to do all that, so everything's pretty much good. We just finna button her on up here, and I thank y'all for watching. You know, like, share, subscribe. You know, come back to my channel, see what I'm getting up to. And I'll see y'all later. Y'all stay blessed. All right, y'all. So everything's buttoned back up. Got the cross member back up here. It's buttoned up. All of that's torqued to its proper specs. Got the clips and everything back on up there. Got my clips and everything on back over here. Plugged everything back in. So we're looking good. Got the oil thing back in there. So now we're finna get it all back together. We'll drop some oil in it now, since it's all back together. So thank y'all for watching. All right, baby, I just got it primed. So we finna see if we're gonna go on ahead and fix my oil pressure. Hopefully it goes above 40. Let me see if y'all can see that. All right. And then we did it, baby. Got it done. I'm a proud man. Yes, I am. That was my first time. That was my first time getting doing the oil pan. So, hey, I'm glad to see that it worked out. Look at that. Look at that. The pickup tube and got it done, baby.